All right, and we're back here on Couch Coach Live, continuing our ninth annual Couch Coach Live NFL preview with my good friend and my often can be my rival at times, but my guy, Kenneth from the Competitive Hedge Podcast and my Off the Ball Network brethren. What's going on, Kenneth?
First of all, I want to start by congratulating you. 9th year doing NFL previews. That's phenomenal. It's awesome to see you still doing it. And given that I'm doing my first NFL team preview, we were talking before we went live, like it's a lot of work that goes into it. So shout out to you, man. Yeah, really looking forward to talking about, as you would call them, the Arlington football team, as I would call them, my Dallas Cowboys. So it's going to be a lot of fun talking. Well, I don't know if it'll be fun, but we'll talk about Dallas for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, definitely once again, Ken. So this Dallas team, very interesting offseason to say at least. A lot of additions and a lot of subtractions on this team as well. So what are your offseason thoughts on offseason? Also, what was the team's biggest acquisition?
I'll be honest, I'm disappointed with the offseason because I feel like they were in a position where they could have done a lot more. You look at the landscape of the NFC right now. Once you get past Tampa Bay and the Rams, there's a lot of question marks heading into this year, whether it's the Packers' lack of weapons, whether it's the Cardinals can follow it up. Are the Eagles going to be a playoff team once again? There's a lot of these teams that kind of fall into that we're not sure of category. And I felt like this was a great opportunity for Dallas to go out and seize being one of those top 3 teams in the NFC. And it's tough to say that they did that. I do like that they brought back Leighton Vander Esch. I'm a big fan of his, not just because I bought his jersey probably prematurely. And when I heard that they might not bring him back, I'm like, I might be tossing this one in the for sale rack. But Anthony Barr was a nice addition a few weeks ago. I think he's really going to help out our defense. I think he's got a decent amount of football left in him too. He is only 30 years old. So I'm disappointed with this offseason because they should have done a lot more with the fact that, if they know how to hut the ball, they maybe win a playoff game last year. And so I'm disappointed to say the least heading into the year, but nothing with Dallas surprises me at this point in my lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and what do you deem as the team's, as the Cowboys' biggest storyline heading into the season?
I think it has to be whether Mike McCarthy can actually get this team where it wants to go, because the pieces are there. You paid your franchise quarterback. You got weapons on the offense. Your O-line is solid, but it's getting up there in age. So eventually they're going to come back down to earth and they might have to rebuild that. You got playmakers on the defensive side of things, but they were a very poorly coached team last year. Let's call it what it was. As I said, the NFC is top to bottom pretty weak. And so with only a few locks in there, there's zero reason why Dallas shouldn't be winning this division this year. The fact that you've got the Giants still haven't found their quarterback. Washington probably isn't sure if they found theirs. We'll have to wait and see. I know you being a Commanders fan. And then the Eagles, yes, they went out and got A.J. Brown. They got better, but Dallas still had a leg up on them last year. So they have to figure out a way to win a playoff game. Otherwise, I can't see a scenario where Mike McCarthy actually stays with this team. Now, Dallas in the past, they've definitely had head coaches that they hang on to 5 years past what the fans probably want them to. But, I mean, if they don't make the playoffs at all, he has to be gone. And if they don't win a playoff game, I don't know how you keep him. I don't know how you justify that if you're Jerry Jones to the fan base.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Ken, your thoughts on this outlook on this Cowboys offense?
The offense is going to be interesting this year. It's the first year that we're seeing it without Amari Cooper. Now, I think this was always part of their plans. I don't see why they would bring him back when you drafted CeeDee Lamb. It felt like he was going to take over as the number one option. Michael Gallup's going to step up and have to take that Lamb role from a year ago. And then if he doesn't, what does Jalen Tolbert look like? Probably the draft pick that I'm most excited to watch this year. We know that Dalton Schultz, he's going to be the lone tight end there now, likely in the offense, no Blake Jarwin. So Schultz could be a big red zone guy. If you're a fantasy owner, he's going to be falling in that tight end wasteland, kind of more so at the front end of it than anything else. But I think the offense is solid. As I said, the division isn't great, so I don't see any reason why it can't look good against a couple of these defenses at least. But I think the offense is going to be all right with Cooper, as much as fans may be panicking a little bit that he's gone.
And let's talk about the other side of the ball. Your thoughts on this defense and just the outlook for this Cowboys defense.
This is a defense that a year ago was very much a playmaker's defense, and they were a turnover defense for sure. They leaned very heavily on Micah Parsons to go sideline to sideline, make all the plays, get some sacks, create some fumbles. You had Trayvon Diggs on the back end where he got burned a lot, but he also led the league in interceptions. So this is a Dallas defense that I expect, once again, they're going to give up plenty of yards. You know that heading into the year. They're going to give up some big plays, but can they win the turnover battle like they did constantly last year? The offense did a good job of taking care of the ball, and the defense did a good job of getting them the ball. So I think we're going to see something similar this year. I think Parsons could be in that defensive player of the year category. The way that he showed in his rookie year, he's only going to keep getting better. So I think the defense they're fine. They're not great. There's better defenses in this conference, but as I said, they're a turnover defense, so being able to do that would be huge for them.
Absolutely. So when the schedule was released in May, obviously, I know there's got to be some games that are circled on the calendar for this team for you. So I know I said game. You can name me 2 or 3 or whatever you got. What you got game circled for this Cowboys team?
I think you have to have both Eagles games circled, just because to me they're the ones that we're really competing with in the division. But the one actually that I'm circling is the opener, and it's because we get a rematch of the opener last year. When you get Tampa Bay to open up, it was a game that if you watched it last year, Dallas was probably the better team, but Tampa was the more experienced team, and they were able to win out because of that. So when I look at that one this year, we're in Tampa last year. Now we're at home in Dallas. Prove that you can go out and beat a team in your own building, because anytime Dallas took on a playoff team last year, it didn't go well for them. And so if they want to go out and prove right away, look, we're a different team, we're a more experienced group, you have to win that opener against Tampa. If you open up with another loss, I think we could just be looking at another Dallas makes the playoffs and they're done wildcard weekend type of team. So that's the one that I have circled the most, has to be that Tampa Bay game.
Okay. So, Ken, I got to ask you the $60 million question. In 2022, the Dallas Cowboys will finish.
Well, not with a Super Bowl, but that being said, the Arlington football team, as you would call them, I think they're going to go 11-6 this year. I do think that Philadelphia is going to be hot on their heels. They'll be in the 10-7 range. I think they both make the playoffs with the way that the NFC is shaping up. As in spite of Mike McCarthy, because I hated the hire when it happened, I still hate it now. I'm actually kind of hoping that he struggles again this year so we can get out from under him and hopefully get a different coach moving forward. But good quarterback, solid weapons, good O-line, turnover defense, bad division. I think it shapes up for them to win 11 games. If they went on and won 12, I wouldn't be that shocked, but I'm not going to go out on that limb and say that they're going to be a 12-5 team. But I do think they have the potential to compete for the top spot in the NFC because of what their schedule looks like. And so the realistic expectation is 11-6 for me.
Nice. All right. So, we'll put a bow on this Dallas Cowboys preview. Ken, tell them where they can find you on social media and any upcoming projects, what you got going on.
Yeah, so you can find me on all social platforms at HedgePod. Been doing NFL team previews every day. We just put out the Raiders one today. Tomorrow we're putting out the LA Rams, so definitely go and check those out. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. But along with that, we do our live show every morning, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and on the weekends, it's kind of just depending on schedule. Like if you got EPL soccer on, I'm up bright and early, ready to go. If I maybe go out for some wobbly pops, then I might do it a little bit later on in the day. And so I do appreciate you having me on, man. Thanks so much as always, Couch Coach. You are one of the best in the business, and you prove it every single year.
Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the kind words. And what did you say? What a bubbly? What was it? What was it?
Wobbly pops.
What is wobbly pops?
That's what we call beers up here.
Oh, I'm thinking like it's a food or something. I'm like, I want to Google it and everything. Like, okay. thought it was gonna be like a breakfast dish or something. I was a little curious about the offense, so that's why I had to ask,
That's awesome.
But yeah, man, once again appreciate you again for coming on, man, and previewing the Cowboys. Definitely looking forward to have you, obviously, on the pods coming soon on Couch Coach Live as well during the football season and what have you, and doing what we do. And yeah, man, this has been the Dallas Cowboys preview. We'll catch you guys on the next